Hey there everyone, welcome back for my next deck video. Today got a fun one for you that we can dive into here. But before I dive into the deck, got some quick housekeeping stuff I wanted to let you know about. I finally launched my own website where I sell my own Magic singles, and I'm always loading that site with keeping the inventory up to date by adding new singles here and there. And I wanted to let you know that if you buy directly from my website and you're looking for any kind of Magic singles, you can get 10% off your first order. Just use the code at checkout, first and 10, and you'll get 10% off your first order on the website. So something to check out. And if you're looking for singles, might be a place to stop by and see if I have something that you need. So just want to let you know about that. So let's go ahead and dive into the deck today. Today's deck is Abzan Legends, a variation based off of the Esper Legends deck, except we're running green instead of blue. And I'll go over why that's what the differences are. Some of the staples that you see in this deck that you see in the Esper deck is Skrev, Thalia, Jadar. You got Adeline, and Sheoldred. But some of the new additions, also Gix, which goes nicely with that deck. But some of the new additions are Catilda. There's a lot of humans in this deck that let you, with a Catilda on the battlefield, lets you tap for 1 mana of any color that they are. Malira, the Living Cure, nice card for keeping you from getting poison counters, but also you can exile her to return a creature or artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield if it went there this turn. Got Glisa the Sunslayer. Nobody wants to mess with that card. Anytime you attack her and they connect with your opponent, you can draw a card and lose a life, destroy an enchantment, or remove 3 counters from a permanent, which is pretty useful since there's a lot of permanents running around in standard right now that use counters. So this is a really nice card to go with it. And then one of the big reason that we're trying at Abzan is the Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. Really fantastic card. First strike, Death Touch. You can play an additional land on each of your turn. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter battlefield tapped. That really slows them down. Comboed with Thalia, the Guardian of Thraben, it's like they're trudging through mud. And they just really slow down and helps you out quite a bit. And then whenever it attacks, you can sacrifice your creature or land. This deck produces a lot of creature tokens through the Wandering Emperor, Adeline, the Resplendent Cathar, and Jadar, the Cathar, Ghoulcaller of Nephalia, sorry. And so those kind of feed the attack trigger for Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. You can also sacrifice lands if you have a lot of extra lands to draw the card, but most of the time I found that the Gitrog Monster eats up the creature tokens. And then, of course, a lot of the Esper decks and even some of the Abzan builds, I noticed they run a couple Go for the Throat. Some of them do run the Wandering Emperor, but couple go for the throat, but it only interacts with creatures. I wanted something that could also interact with creatures, but also maybe help your team out a little bit. That being pumping it with the +1/+1 counter, or creating a creature token, which you can either use to attack with, block with, or feed to the Gitrog Monster. And so moving on to the lands real quick, this deck runs 26 lands, got Plaza of Heroes, 4 of those to help smooth out your mana base since we're playing all legends. Got 6 of the green-white color pair lands, 6 of the black-green, 2 of which are the Restless Cottage from Wilds of Eldraine, nice man land usage, and 6 of the white-black color pair, with 2 of them being Restless Fortress. Pretty good for mid to late game if you're able to attack with that and have them lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. Then rounding it out with 1 of each of the Kamigawa Channel utility lands, and then just 1 plains, making up the 26 lands for the deck. So it's a pretty fun deck, definitely aggressive. I'll have a link for this deck, a deck list for it, in the video description if you want to check it out. But enough of going over it. Let's just go ahead and jump into the action and see how it does in the ladder. Okay, so our opponent's going first. Yeah, this seems playable. Let's go ahead and keep this. See how we do here. Mono red. Alrighty. Okay, let's go ahead. I think we need to stem the bleeding a little bit already. Go ahead and cast Malaria. No attacks. Now we'll go ahead and block the... Oh. Yeah, we'll block the Charm Scoundrel. Let's go ahead and pay some life. Give that Hexproof red. Huh. They don't want any of that. We'll take it. Okay, looks like we're on the play. It's a fairly decent hand. We can, looks like all our lands come into play untapped, and then we can curve into what we have here. So let's give it a shot. Like they're playing Esper. Question is what kind. Interesting. They might be playing Domain, actually. Alright. That's a bummer. Yeah, we'll take Ash. Okay. Well, let's keep the pressure on him. We'll play the Gitrog Monster and they'll go ahead and attack. Play another land since we have Gitrog too. Okay. I'll go ahead and sack the creature. Yeah. Go ahead and cast there we go. Got a full board. Hopefully we didn't overextend. Maybe. Alright. Just too much for him too quickly there. We got it. Yeah, we can keep this. Looks like we might be going up against Esper Legends. We'll see here. Or at least Esper Rafine. Okay. Need some more land, though. Oh, no land. Bummer. Yeah. Oh boy. Looking rough. We'll go ahead. Block like that. Block there. I have to take 5 though. Yep. Let's see. No attacks. We're really behind in this game. Not enough land soon enough, and then they've had some answers for our stuff. Yeah. They're gonna get us here. We're not gonna be able to survive the draw. They got us. Bummer. Ooh, it's a rough hand. We'll mulligan that. It's a little better. We'll keep this. I think I'm gonna bury Skrelv. Not as important as getting Thalia or these guys going, so we'll see how we do here. Bummer. Okay. Looks like we're playing a vampire deck. Kind of neat. Let's see here. Okay, we'll take that one. Okay, so one of the things that I had brought to my attention that would go really good in this deck is the Vran Executioner thing, because of the fact that whenever one or more other creatures I control die, each opponent loses 2 life and I gain a life, or gain 2 life. Triggers only once each turn, but it goes really well with the Jadar, Gold Collar of Nephalia, Adeline, and also the Wandering Emperor. So that's actually pretty good. Also, I can force that trigger with the Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. So I went ahead and put 2 of those in, took out 1 Skrelv and 1 Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. So still keeps the creature count at 32, but it just adds those 2. So let's go ahead and try out another game, but with these new additions. Yeah, this is a playable hand. Got some early plays. See if we can get these 2 to stick. That'll really help us set up for those. Okay. That's a bummer. Should not have attacked with Skrelv. That being said, I think I'll go ahead and do it now. Oops. Alright. Yeah. We'll be able to cast Lisa the Sunslayer. Okay. And we'll pass. Okay. Be able to get one survivor out of that. Cool. We got him. Okay, so that was the Abzan Legends deck. Pretty fun variation on the Esper Legends, and I really like some of the synergies in this deck and how they play. Really got to get on top of your opponent early on, though. Otherwise, any of those mid-range control decks are really going to be able to beat it down pretty quickly as far as gaining control, just due to the lack of disruption that you have in your deck. Same thing for some of the super aggro stuff. You got to kind of be able to hit your board, your drops to be able to stifle their assault and kind of try to take over the game through a grindy match. But it's pretty fun. I do like the addition of Ran, the Executioner, so that's a pretty cool addition to this deck and fits in nicely with it. So pretty fun deck. So I think that'll do it for this deck. Don't forget, check out my website, mtgrogueplayers.com. You can get 10% off your first order. I sell Magic singles there, and you might find something you need. But I think that'll do it for this one. One more segment, and I want to show you the feature card for this video, and we'll go check it out right now. So thanks for sticking around for the feature card segment. So our feature card of the day is going to be actually one of the stars of the deck we played, Thalia, the Gitrog Monster. This card's fantastic. I really like the fact that they made an Abzan legendary creature. One you can play in standard, but also it would be a pretty sweet commander for the commander format. Giving it 4/4, first strike, death touch, play an additional land on each of your turns. That's really nice for ramping. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. That can really slow down an aggressive deck, or even just a deck that depends on making their land drops and getting the right colors. This will really slow them down. And then, of course, being able to, whenever it attacks, you can sack a land or draw a card. It's kind of cool because this card is actually a mashed together version. For those of you that aren't familiar with Thalia and the Gitrog Monster, it's actually a mashed version of the Gitrog Monster from Shadows over Innistrad, which pretty similar. It's a 5 mana value, 6/6 creature with death touch, and being your upkeep, you have to sacrifice it unless you sacrifice a land. You can play additional lands on your turn, just like with the Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. And then whenever a land, one or more land cards are put in your graveyard from anywhere, you get to draw a card. So that's also your opponent's stuff too. That's kind of nice. And then also the other side of it is Thalia, the Heretic Cathar, which is another sweet addition. That's where Thalia and the Gitrog Monster gets the lands and creatures come into play tapped. So pretty cool. Both cards, these older cards, are from the Shadows over Innistrad block. Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon. Those are cards that actually I would put into a commander deck to go with this. And I'd probably try to exploit the ability to ramp out more lands and also be able to find ways to sacrifice creatures or lands to get them into the graveyard to draw a bunch of cards. That would trigger both the Gitrog Monster and Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. So some pretty cool strategies, nice synergies that it has for the commander format. something worthwhile an exploration. Maybe even for some kind of ramp deck in the Pioneer format as well, or Commander. So something to give you food for thought for if you want to build a deck around it. Really cool card, really versatile. If you can find ways to protect it, it's even harder to get rid of. So the fact that it has First Strike and Death Touch, it's pretty much unblockable in that sense. So unless they're blocking with an indestructible creature, but pretty cool card. So if you get a chance, give it a shot. It's a fun card to play with, and you can build some pretty solid strategies. But I think that'll do it for this particular video, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.